So Jade Cargill officially returned at the Elimination Chamber right at the beginning of the Elimination Chamber. What was your initial reaction when you saw this starting to play out?
I was a little surprised, but also kind of expected it. We had talked about how at the Royal Rumble maybe she returns, and now maybe at the Elimination Chamber she returns. So we were talking about it. So it wasn't like a huge surprise, but it was still a big surprise. But I think the thing that we talked about the most in that was why did you come out at the beginning? Right, and eliminate Naomi right off the bat. Why not wait till somebody was eliminated to come in and then do damage to Naomi
Mhm.
afterwards? It felt kinda weird just the way that it started out that way, and then, I mean, it gave the surprise because we didn't know she was going to attack Naomi, but I think that was what we both talked about being so weird is that you take her out and then Liv just kinda waits for something to happen for the next little bit for somebody to get released, so
Yeah.
I thought it was crazy, and I noticed that she came out in all black, and everybody else was wearing their white colors for the Elimination Chamber, so I thought that was interesting too.
Well, the WWE plays into every single detail. So I feel like the minute you saw Bianca and Naomi in white and then you saw Jade in black,
Mhm.
like you knew something was going to unravel there. And while I feel like I never believed it was Liv and Raquel, I've always believed it's been Bianca or Naomi. It was a little bit weird that it started the match because you did have that little bit of time where Liv was just kind of doing nothing right. But now when I think about how it played out, it actually was perfect that she came out in the beginning because Bianca couldn't come out.
Right.
And I don't know if you remember, but Bianca was going nuts.
She was.
She wanted to get out. She wanted to help Naomi, probably, right? We're
Right.
assuming, or at least to stop the fight. Because I think fans, if you're not really paying attention, you're probably thinking she's upset that her friend's getting beat up and she wants to get out to help her in any way that she can. But I honestly, now that I think about it, like it ended up happening so perfect that I'm so damn intrigued. And I think when we go through these tweets, we'll start to see why it made sense that she came out in the beginning and not after. But I thought it was interesting that today she posted this video saying I'm one of one, and we haven't watched it yet. So why don't we take a look at this and see what it even is about?
There are wolves in the shape of women all around me. I can see the way they look into my eyes. I am not them, and they are not me. And I weathered every storm that was meant to break me. You can't help but to talk about me. I saw the look in your eyes as soon as I walked in the door, mapping out how to send me to my demise. My presence makes you question yourself. I've let others block my destiny for legacy. People hiding their insecurities behind fake smiles and hugs, trying to knock me for simply being me. Looking like God carved me out of marble, they wanted me to hide that I'm blessed. They demanded proof I belong as if my scars weren't enough. Losing my mother while being a mother, carrying the weight of it all while still thriving. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me. I'm here because I've earned it. Every scar, every loss, every step. I would not shrink myself for anyone. Don't mistake my grace for weakness. I've played by the rules long enough. Now it's time for mine. I am one of one. I am that bitch.
That was so good.
And we've seen some of those clips before. So now we know what it was leading to, but wow, yeah, that was impressive.
We don't normally get her on the mic, and obviously this is scripted, so she sounded phenomenal, but she said a couple things. She said, "I'm that bitch."
Yep,
That was her persona in AEW. She was that bitch, Jade Cargill. And I feel like we've talked ever since she's come into the WWE, we've talked about how it didn't quite feel like the babyface gimmick
right.
worked for her.
We said the same thing about Ronda when she was in the WWE.
Mhm.
She just couldn't quite get the face. She worked out just much better, just naturally as a
As a
heel.
heel, like, some people are just naturally good at being cocky bitches, right? And I feel like Jade is exactly that, and the reason why obviously we're not on video, but my jaw dropped when she said that is because it does seem like she is reinventing herself to go back to what made her her. And that is what's been missing in the WWE with her. She's trying to be this baby face. She's trying to be this good person, but the reality is she's cocky as fuck. She's massive. Like, why hold that back? You could be a good guy, but you can still know you're just better than some of these people. So I I find it interesting that she's going back to that. So
And I
what
think part of that is that she's coming from the outside into the WWE and she's trying to be humble, right? She's got to earn her place and work her way up. But that was never Jade Cargill.
never.
So to see this of I've always been imposing and I was always a threat to you, or whatever it was that she said in the video there of like, yeah, you were threatened by my presence. I think that's what she
Mhm.
said. That is what's been missing
Missing,
as
yeah.
opposed to the I'm trying to learn the ropes. I'm doing it alongside. Thank you for helping me, showing me the way, as opposed to no, I'm that bitch.
Yeah, like, I get it. I get it, right? Because WWE is the machine. It's the biggest organization that she's ever wrestled under, probably the biggest crowd she's ever wrestled under. So I get it. She wants to form her path in this, let's be honest, the most stacked probably it's been in a while, this roster that WWE has. So to me, this screams, I'm done being led. Let's be real. The reason why they put her with Bianca was so that she can learn and Bianca could lead her.
Right.
And at some point, I think it's sink or swim time. It really does seem like they're pulling the plug and they're going to let her run. Sh I think she's gonna be a babyface. Is that what you're getting? Like, I don't know, right? Because
It
could she be misled and attacked Naomi and Naomi didn't do it, and now she's seen as the bad person?
well, I mean, there's that angle. It could also just be that I'm taking everybody out because it was all of you who did this to me, right? And it's all of your fault that that I ended up where I am. Or it could be that sort of like anti-face where it's not really a heel, but like she's on a revenge path, but people sympathize with her and it's
Like
good
Rhea?
because uh, I mean, yeah, kind of not like Liv because Liv was definitely the heel in all of it, right? But
But it allowed Rhea to turn face because Liv was
exactly,
so bad.
exactly. And you have somebody who's on an angry, destroy everything sort of revenge tour, but you can sympathize and get behind and support them. So I think it's a weird sort of face heel blend that
Mhm.
is still heelish that she can be like all that like yeah that
Cocky.
bitch
Mhm.
yeah you're in trouble because I'm here kind of deal, but still be rallied by and supported by the fans.
Yeah. Here's the reason why I don't know the question to that. On one side, you have the most over woman on the roster, Bianca, and then you have Jade. And I feel like at some point, if Bianca isn't the blatant heel, you're gonna have issues with fans picking sides because Bianca is Bianca. Whether people hate her or love her, she's the female John Cena right now, right?
Absolutely, yep.
So Like, that's why this story is so intriguing, and the fact that she hinted the that bitch, because when she was that bitch, she was a heel. That's when "Cut the shit"
Yep.
came and became so iconic. It's when she was big booting all these bitches in matches. It took her like 5-10 seconds to beat women
Just
in
squash
AEW.
matches.
So
Yep.
I kind of have a feeling that she might be the heel in this. And, one of those, it's kind of like, this is this stupid analogy, but like the Incredibles, the heel in the Incredibles became a heel, a villain, because of the superhero and what the superhero did to him. So could this be one of those equations where it's like, you turned me this way?
It could also be the another angle that I'm thinking of is that Jade started to get kind of big for her britches. They were tag team champions again, and they decided to put her in her place. So that's how they turned heel, or they turned her heel because they were like, you need to pump your brakes. And now
Hmm.
she's like, oh, I need to pump my brakes. I'm going to beat the brakes off of you then.
But is it from a, like, I don't know, maybe like a psychological perspective? Isn't it harder to believe that she's the baby face looking the way she does? Like, it, it's very different, but I compare it to Charlotte Flair when they tried to turn Charlotte a heel, and it just didn't work. Why? Because nobody wants to sympathize with Ric Flair's daughter. Nobody can sympathize the fact that you grew up rich
Right.
and that you're just a natural bitch. Charlotte is just, she's the heel. So, do you think fans might have trouble sympathizing with such an imposing figure that Jade is, especially with how the WWE has built her?
Yes and no. You can get the fans to rally behind certain things if the stardom is big enough for whatever reason. You could spin it however you want. If people like Jade, they'll be like, "Yeah, whatever. Go ahead, Jade. Yeah." However, the WWE is creative enough to make it work and spin the narrative in their favor. That if they want her to be a heel or if they want her to be a face, I think they could at least start the narrative. It's up to Jade to kind of continue it and
We'll
keep it
see.
going along.
I think that's going to be the interesting part, to see how she continues to portray this, because I just want them to allow her to be herself and to stop playing a character. So, my hope in this all is she was wrong. It wasn't Naomi. And now she becomes this bad person because she literally beat the shit out of her in Elimination Chamber without proof, right? We really haven't seen the proof yet as
Right.
fans, but regardless of the fact, let's go back to, we talked about how it was a little odd when it started in the beginning. I kind of want to go through the tweets because I think the tweets will show the one scene where I think it just flew over our heads. And it's the reason why I think it's much more perfect than I originally intended. So this is the crazy part. Obviously, we want to be careful so that this doesn't get copyrighted. So I'm just gonna play it like this. Liv played this perfect, right? Liv was scared shitless.
Well, and I looked at it this way too, of Liv looks scared because maybe Jade thinks that she's the one because that's what
That's why.
everybody's saying,
Yeah. And
right?
she even says that she's like, I didn't do it. So she's afraid that Jade is tainted and is coming to whoop her ass because she thinks that Liv did it. So Liv is scared shitless because she's like, oh damn, right?
Right.
She's gonna whoop my ass. So then here comes Jade in all black. It's this one little scene that I feel like we missed. Okay, look at Naomi's reaction to this.
Inside the ring, the official is Daphne LaShawn, and
She's surprised.
Look at Bianca too.
Surprised, right? So
And you could also chalk that up to like I would expect you to let me know because like we're friends, right?
100%. But then,
What the? Oh, Liv
ready?
Morgan! Liv Morgan! Look at the look!
Why is Bianca taking her sweater, her jacket off like she's ready to scrap? Look at this.
I mean, okay. I'm
Just in the context that everything is in the details, right?
right. Maybe a reach, but not. But okay.
Look at Naomi. Huh?
Yep.
They
That
fucking stare
that
at each other.
that from Naomi is what is very telling because she snaps and looks at Bianca like, "Holy crap, you didn't like oh no." That see that head flip, that's what tells me
The
cuz I
bet
was busy watching Live.
Yes. And everyone missed the the interaction between them two that made it seem like, uh-oh.
And I never thought from this that Liv was like, "Oh crap, Jade knows." This to me was Liv saying, "Oh crap, I hope she doesn't think that I did it because I know I didn't." Boom.
And it's just it even if that isn't part of the plan, the fact that the camera caught that, like some we used to talk about this with McGregor, like the things that when he was coming up, he would do crazy things and everything just looked perfect and it just worked perfectly for him. A beach ball's coming his way, he punches it. Like it, this strikes me sometimes the WWE gets these like little, I guess, cameos you can call them, like that just fit perfectly that even if it wasn't part of the story, you can now make it part of the
Right.
story. So literally it was that 1 2 seconds that changed my whole perspective because again then you couple it with the fact that Bianca is going absolutely insane because she wants to get out of the thing so that she could help.
Right.
She takes off her jacket like she's ready for smoke. Is Bianca the mastermind behind this? And is Naomi being framed?
I don't know. It looks like they're both in on it here somehow.
Here's my only case for when you think about the greater picture. She's facing Rhea, right? As of right now. After tonight, it might be Io. But if she's facing Rhea, it is a little weird that it's the two biggest women in WWE and they're both babyface. It kind of makes sense that if they were going to pull the plug on Bianca finally turning heel, which again would feel weird because they pulled the trigger on Cena. Why are you going to pull the trigger again?
Because now I think it's Cody who's gonna be that guy. But we'll see. It's hard to do that while being the champion and do like the make a wish kind of thing and be the super face. But
But right, like is could she have been sick of being an attack team? She's the biggest women's star in
and
WWE
and they even sort of talked about it a little bit
on
in
the
the
post show
pre-show.
or the and I think it was a post show when she
They talked about it on the pre-show too, where Bianca has been in the tag team and maybe she uses the elimination chamber to get her back into the solo and in the individual spotlight.
Mhm.
So there's another sort of potential nugget.
And the crazy thing, speaking of the post show, Bianca in the post show said, she literally said, Naomi pushed me to believe it was Liv Raquel. So could she be lying? Could she was Naomi the mastermind behind it all? Like obviously that we're gonna get more answers soon. But I think the fact that she said that she's tweeting I still need answers, like who knows? Maybe she is naive in the situation to it all. But I I love what is happening. And I think the women's division needed it, and they needed it not centered around a title. The more storylines that women can have without a title, the better for the division. They puts them in the spotlight. So
Well, the storyline might just be leading up into the title. because it now has WrestleMania implications for that championship, right?
Yes,
Yep.
but you're right. This could mean Bianca wins the title. This is how they finally put the title on Jade. We
Mhm.
know that's coming. Look, look at this.
Doesn't want to WrestleMania, but
Well, that's my question for you,
it's
Bianca.
very bittersweet.
How do you focus on making it to WrestleMania, handling business with Io Sky, getting to Mania, but not thinking about the fact that your former partner just went crazy on your current partner?
It's hard. It's hard because I formed this bond with Jade and I formed this bond with Naomi, and this happened tonight. And I'm confused, and I want to be proud of what I did tonight. I
Should
accomplished
be.
something
You
very
should be
amazing.
tremendously.
I'm the first two-time Elimination Chamber winner, and I want to be proud of that. I want to point to that WrestleMania sign and know that I'm going to go face Rhea or Io, but I'm heartbroken.
The tweet says Bianca acting down. Like she's acting her ass off. I don't think that I've ever been as big of her fan until this night. Like until this all started to play out because I can see that she has the versatility in her. So honestly, I don't know. She's doing a great job because I want to believe her. I do. I want to believe that she has no clue and that she's truly like heartbroken, like she says. So
She
yeah.
also did say she accomplished something great today. Yeah, that's part of winning, right? But
Well, we've all been there before, right? Like, back in college when we were playing sports, right? Like, not every team won. You come back to celebrate.
right.
Some people are happier than others because they won. Some people not as happy because we lost. How shitty for her. Like, she is in a weird spot. She wants to celebrate. She just accomplished history. She's the first woman to ever win the Elimination Chamber, I think, twice.
Yep.
And she's had a hell of a career. So imagine wanting to be happy for yourself, but you can't because you're also dealing with all this other bullshit. So I, I'm
Well,
I'm curious to see how they're
well,
gonna run with it.
my other thought is that like she accomplished this, like I got away with it. People think that Naomi's the one that attacked her.
Right.
Like that's the other thing that's like I accomplished this thing of like Jade took her out for me and I didn't have to deal with one other person in this match and I got away with attacking her and no one knows it was me.
No, um it's it's so good. It's so good. Like you can't tell me that there's a better storyline for the women right now. And honestly, I think this right here is probably the best way to end this. Like this tweet says Naomi's officially a part of the biggest women's storyline of the year. She's turning heel and she's evolving. I'm so proud of her and I cannot wait to see what she does this year. This is a breakout storyline that she needed and hopefully she wins. I think we can all agree that since coming back, she hasn't really done anything massive and this is her first title reign since coming back and this is the biggest storyline for the women. I am excited that she's getting the spotlight. However, I do think it's going to be at the expense of making Jade look good to eventually become champion. So we'll see how it all plays out.